Chloe. This time, it's a story I heard from Korea about a contract killing. It's a breathtaking chase between a professional killer who crossed the border to murder a man and the detectives who tracked him down just by his walk. On an early morning in March 2014, CEO Choi, an alias, the head of a construction company, was the first to arrive at his office, as usual. He glanced at the worn-out family photo on his desk and then called his wife. "Yeah, honey, I'll be home early tonight. Let's have something nice with the kids." It was for him the start of a perfectly ordinary day, having no idea he would never make it home for dinner. That evening, on a busy Seoul street, just after rush hour, CEO Choi collapsed, screaming. By the time paramedics arrived, he was already dead. The cause of death was massive blood loss. He had been stabbed 7 times in vital spots, the neck, the chest, in a brutal and professional hit. At the scene, the killer had left behind the murder weapon, a sharp deboning knife, the kind butchers use, but there were no fingerprints, no DNA. The killer had committed the murder and vanished in under a minute, like a ghost. The case was assigned to a veteran Detective Kang, an alias. He secured hundreds of CCTV cameras and started tracking the killer's movements. For days, the detectives were glued to their monitors in a dark analysis room, the air thick with the smell of stale coffee. "Chief, our eyes are going to fall out," one young detective complained. "It'd be easier to catch an actual ghost." Without looking away from the screen, Detective Kang just grunted, "Then find even a single footprint that ghost left behind." And finally, they did. The killer had been casing CEO Choi's company for weeks, meticulously planning his escape routes. He left no evidence, but he had one single flaw: his walk. The killer in the footage walked with a distinctive pigeon-toed gait, with his feet pointing inwards, a rare trait for an adult man, experts said. While tracing all of his movements, Detective Kang found a single gap, 2 minutes and 47 seconds, where the killer disappeared from the CCTV grid. There are only 2 things he could have done in that time at that location, Kang figured: use a payphone or an ATM. His hunch was dead on. There was exactly 1 ATM transaction made during that window. The card didn't belong to a Korean. It belonged to a Chinese-Korean man named Wang Dae-ho, an alias. Detective Kang compared his photo to the man on the CCTV, and even in the blurry footage, the sharp cheekbones were a match. Finally, the ghost had a name. After a relentless 7-month manhunt, detectives arrested Wang Dae-ho. He was a former martial arts instructor, a master with a combined 20 Dan rank. He eventually confessed everything. "I'm a professional hitman. I kill people for money." And then he started naming the people who had hired him. This whole tragedy began with a multi-billion won apartment development project. The victim, CEO Choi, and the CEO of a rival company, Chairman Park, an alias, had been locked in a bitter lawsuit for years. When Park started losing the suit, he decided to eliminate his rival. But he didn't get his own hands dirty. The story goes back years to a smoky restaurant in China. A younger Chairman Park, his business partner CEO Kim, and a martial artist Wang Dae-ho were taking an oath of brotherhood. "We may not share blood, but we are brothers, bound by a loyalty thicker than blood. From this day on, we risk our lives for each other." Their glasses clinked, but that pledge was destined to become a brutal murder contract. In the end, all 3 sworn brothers, Chairman Park, who ordered the hit, CEO Kim, who acted as the middleman, and Wang Dae-ho, who carried out the murder, were brought to justice. It was a business dispute worth billions, but the price they put on one man's life was just a few tens of thousands of dollars. It's just a bitter and terrifying story of how greed can turn men into such cruel monsters.